old. Kilbride is one of the most common in Ireland. There are these two in Meath, the other Kilbride being beside Trim. There are three Kilbrides in Antrim, Cavan, Carlow, Down, Laois, Mayo, Offaly, Roscommon, Waterford and Westmeath. There are three Kilbrides in Scotland, two in Canada and one in Australia. There's only one Kilbride that we call home.
Over the past few months, the 6th class students in Kilbride have taken part in this Heritage Keepers project.
The purpose of our project was simple: get to know our place.
When we started and we were chatting about the task ahead, one student said, "We're learning about Kilbride. Sure, there's nothing to know."
We've seen time and time again that this simply isn't true. There's so much more to know about Kilbride.
Over the past few weeks, we have welcomed important members of the local community into the school. They've helped us learn about the history of the village, told us stories of the past, and shared with us some of the things that they were doing to make Kilbride even better.
So who came to see us? Well, we had Nanny McCann and Dennis from Kilbride Tidy Towns telling us about the local biodiversity and the little things we can do to protect and improve Kilbride.
Nisha McAlean, former Kilbride pupil and now goalkeeper at Burnley Football Club, shared stories of her time and at school and her journey to becoming a professional soccer player.
Austin, Ollie and Anne are all local people who came to share tales of the past from Kilbride and how they've watched it change throughout their lives.
Finally, former teacher here at Kilbride and proud Corkman, Mr. Creedon helped us learn about our local history and about what heritage means to him.
I found it really interesting when Ollie was talking about how him and his friends used to play different games like
back in the day, we played a lot of stuff up in the church, at the back of the church. We played basketball, we played badminton, bowls.
Anne was chatting about how when they were with the Camogie in Kilbride, they didn't have change rooms, so they had to get changed behind a bush or a ditch.
Our original football club was our play field, is that one out there, and that's where we played Camogie, and the biggest games of Kilbride football was played there as well. So it'll be a nostalgic time, I think, when you look in there and say that's where we crossed a little bridge across out there. Austin will tell you, and you had to change your clothes in the ditches down the field. The footballers did, and the girls did too. You had to come dressed. You could be cycling on a bike when your uniform on, you come to matches.
I thought it was really good when Anne was talking about how Dracula was written down the road from Kilbride School.
Bram Stoker, the fella that wrote the book Dracula, and that's where it began, down in that house down the road there. Yeah, Kilmartin House.
I really liked when Mr. Creedon was talking about our treasure.
Mr. Creedon was talking about heritage and how important it is to have heritage, and he was saying that his son brought home a clay bowl and told him to keep it, and ever since he's had that in a little box with all his treasures.
I've got 3 kids of my own, and my son Sean came to me when he was a small little fella, and he bought me a thing he'd made in school. It was a little pottery bowl, very, the Irish word for it is tutuk, means awkward and kind of brittle thing. But he said, that's for your treasures. And I still have it. It's one of my treasures. And I have some of my treasures in it, and they're small things. But I bet you've a thing where you put your treasures.
I do. Oh yeah, I do.
You do? I bet you've things that are important to you, and you put them in it. I won't ask you what they are, but I would bet you it might be a photograph, or it might be a ticket to a concert that you were at, or it might be something like a card you got from your granny, or it could simply be something like a conqueror. It's something that means something to you. That's heritage. It's the things that are important to us.
I liked it during the interview when Ollie was talking about the pony races that used to go on in Kilbride back in the day.
With another fundraiser we had, which was down dangerous, we wouldn't do it now, was pony racing.
Pony racing, yeah.
We had that shocking thing about it.
Like, absolutely.
I enjoyed when Mr. Creedon was talking about 1798. During 1798 at the Hill Harbour, a load of Irishmen saw a whiskey cart going down a lane, and the men raided it and took all the whiskey from it and drank it all. It didn't take long for them to end up drunk, and at that point they were on top of a big hill, which was the perfect place to fight a battle.
I found it interesting when Dennis was talking about how they found some knotweed up near Sweeney's and they had to take steps to get rid of it because otherwise it would wipe out all the native plants.
It's knotweed, no? So that's a really invasive species. So we say, oh, we like the leaves of that and we want to plant that. Next thing it grows all over the place here and it wipes out a whole area. So we have to then, be mindful. And actually in the last week, we've found a small little bit of Japanese knotweed growing in Sweeney's car park up above, okay?
My favourite part was when Nisha was talking about having to join an all-boys team because there was no girls team. And they all underestimated her, but she ended up being one of the star players.
I think it's changed when you came back from Kilbride.
So when I was here, there was only one class of each year group. So I think I had 30 in my class, and that was it. There wasn't a second class. And then the building has grown so much. When I came, it was half the size of this. I didn't have the football pitches out there. So it's grown, like the size of the building and the size of the classes. So, but coming back, it still feels really special. And nice, close-knit community, so some things have changed for the better and then some things stay the same, which is really nice.
My nanny is nicknamed Nanny McCann in school, and I like when she was talking about the greenhouses, the community garden, and all the plants that are in there.
Glass house. Then the gentleman set up a situation where the water is all collected from a big shed next door, so that's great as well. As he says, we make the compost ourselves and we use that. So it's a lovely area and we learn from each other, we try out new things. Sometimes if you're passing, if you say to your mammy or your granny, can I run in here for a minute, you'll be amazed what's going in there. Carrots and parsnips and turnips and cabbage and peas and you name it, it's all in there.
I liked how when Mr. Creedon came in and he was chatting to us about how the school had always came close in the coming and one school, and one year they were in the final and they were 5 points down with 5 minutes to go.
Get on, the time is moving. And up he came and I think he just hit the ball. It was straight, it was true, but there was no height in it really. And it shot like a rocket, about 40 yards out, just under the crossbar, into the back of the net. We were 2 points down with 3 minutes to go. He scored another one, this time out from play. And we ended up getting another point or two on top.
I liked when Dennis was telling us that if we went up to the church, he guaranteed us that we'd see at least one bat, and that a bat eats around 3,000 insects per night.
Back about 30 years ago, there was a survey of bats in Kilbride done, and of the 9 species of bats, I think there were 7 species fairly regularly seen in Kilbride.
Dennis showed us a little machine that would help us hear bat noises since our human ears couldn't hear.
So that's the bat coming by me, seeing me.
When Ollie was talking about the primary cert, which at the time was a big exam that you have to do in primary school, which you don't have to do nowadays.
The primary cert was an exam you had to do in order to go on to secondary school. If you failed, you would not only have to redo the exam, but also the full year. Imagine having to do that. We're so lucky that we don't have that exam in 6th class.
I like when Anne, Austin and Ollie came into our school and told us about the Reardons, a popular soap opera filmed in Kilbride during the 1960s or 70s.
Well, I just say that the Reardons were part of the fabric of the place back in the 60s and 70s. And lots of us were there as extras
I really enjoyed it when Ollie was giving us life advice and telling us to not smoke and keep our money in our pockets because you're making other people rich and doing stuff that could harm yourself if you spend money on that kind of stuff.
Yes. Don't smoke. That's what gave me cancer. But you can see who I am now. So, no drugs, no smoking.
Keep your money in your pockets. And make yourself rich, nobody else.
The thing we are going to chat about are some of the key locations around Kilbride.
The sign about the village, which says it's more than just a coastline, and it's really the people and the place that makes it the place that it is.
Here we are at Kilbride GAA. Over the years, boys and girls in our school have been representing Kilbride here. For the school and the village, it's a massive part of the community.
Hello, my name is Maya. I'm turning 13 years old and I've been playing GAA since I was 7. For me, GAA is a home away from home. It helps me take my mind away from other things happening in my life. It distracts me from anything that worries or bothers me. Playing GAA has made a big impact in my life, in a good way. It makes me feel like if I have nothing to do, I can just go to the pitch and all my thoughts or boredom go away. One thing that makes my experience playing GAA better is all my friends that I have by my side. I've not just gained a lifestyle from being around the club, but I've also met people I enjoy watching the sport with. The club is really important to me. It has basically watched me become the player I am today, from playing my first game in the under-8s to playing in the under-15s Failure. One of my favourite things of being part of the Kilbride community is not just seeing myself play well, but seeing others play well. Looking at the older players being matches and winning brings a smile to my face because I look up to them and I wish to be as good players like them and have as much confidence one day. Hopefully that day will come.
What Kilbride means to me. What Kilbride means to me is the community. Being excited to go down to the pitch to see who's there to have some crack. Everyone going to the matches to watch the teams. Everyone getting behind the men and women that are playing each week. Everybody knows everybody around Kilbride, from the elderly to the young children. To the buzz around the pitch on a Saturday morning. To the tension during a championship game. The volunteers that help around the club. To the parents that help train. The enjoyment of going up to Sweeney's after a match. Winning an important match and everyone believes, maybe this is our year. The green and red that represents our club. To the players that go to Dunganny to play for Meath. Kilbride GAA is a place where people feel together, almost like a family.
The church in Kilbride is a
Kilbride
massive part of the community and has been a big part of our school experience over the past 8 years. It is a beautiful building inside and out.
The church was built in 1930 and the first Mass was celebrated by Father Michael Conlon. The previous church, which was built in 1789, was in serious danger of collapsing and was no longer a fitting place to worship.
We were in 3rd class when we first made our communion. It was an unforgettable day. There was loads of preparation for our communion and we remember Father Declan coming in to help us.
The day of our confirmation was enjoyable. The choir were amazing. Their performance was very good. Then it was time to receive the Holy Spirit. Everyone was excited and nervous. It was an amazing day. The priests that led us on this path are Father Declan, Father O'Connor and Father Warren. And we want to thank them for all they've done for us over the years.
Sweeney's is the Kilbride local pub. It's been around since the 1800s. Everyone from Kilbride goes there, whether it's for meeting up with old friends or going there after Kilbride wins their final, or even just for a Sunday roast upstairs. We had Anne come into Kilbride School to tell us about how there used to be a shop in Sweeney's, and it's so cool to see how much it's changed.
We will be doing the second part of our project, an artistic celebration of Kilbride.
And we can't wait to share with you on what we've created.
Before saying goodbye and ending this project, we have a couple of people we would like to thank.
Firstly, we would like to thank all the visitors that came to our school to tell us about their stories. We really loved it.
Secondly, none of this would have happened if it wasn't for Jill Riley and Orla Donnelly. They are SNAs in the school and they are big Kilbride legends.
Everyone who had a hand in this project, thank you, thank you, thank you.